intel, sir!
Any word from the mayor's office?
Yes, sir. They've agreed to evacuate the city. They called out the National Guard.
Wait, evacuate Manhattan? That's over 3 million people. Has that ever been done before?
I don't think so.
Where is he now?
We lost sight of it, sir.
You want to run that by me again?
After its initial attack, he, disappeared.
Godzilla's in New York, and it's never looked worse. This is spoilers. I thought of that after we hit record because Stevie was going to host tonight, and we're doing this on the fly. This is Pappy hosting a Patreon requested episode from none other than our favorite, the Meg.
The Meg.
It's a Meg.
She seems like one of our nicest fans.
The Meg.
I wish we would have watched the Meg.
This was a vindictive pick. This was not nice at all.
Do we know if the Meg likes this movie, or like should we give her a warning?
Read the note, Pap. Read the note.
From 6 months ago, the Meg. Hi, guys. Life has been a bit hectic the past few months, but I listened to my first pod in a while, and it happened to be Signs with Brother Jordan. So glad to have the brothers back together. Well, don't get used to it, even if it's just for one episode. I finally have a pick for you. If I'm not wrong, this one has not been done on the pod before. As a Christmas present to my brother and fellow listener of the illustrious Spoilers podcast, I would love to review the 1998 Godzilla movie whenever you have a chance. No rush. I hope everyone has a joyful, safe holiday season. Thanks for cheering me up. And she says, I said, hey, Meg, great to hear from you. Love the pick. Happy New Year, Pappy. And she said, thanks. Don't feel like you need to go easy on it. And tell Nurse Stacy she was an awesome podcast guest. So I'll be sure to tell her that.
Oh, she was.
No opening question from the Meg. I guess we could go with, what do you think, what nuclear radiated animal do you think would cause the most havoc on a 1998 New York City? So I think this movie is implying that's a irradiated iguana. What do you think would be the most trouble for New York City? We'll go eastest to westest. Sorry, Brett. Can you give us an answer?
Yes. Can you? If I imply what I'm going to say, will you not say it out loud?
Yeah.
What
okay. So this is Brett from Fort Wayne. I think what would be worse would be a radioactive, humongous, starts with a T, big spider.
Oh.
That would be the worst for me.
Can I just clarify for the listeners? Even the word triggers Brett.
Yeah.
So he's being pretty sincere when he's asking us not to say.
Did you see that story, Brett, of the flying S words that are writing?
Oh no, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, you should.
Are they riding murder hornets?
They're evolving before our very eyes.
Flying shits?
Writing what, Pap? Writing what?
They have parachute webs that they fly on.
Oh, sweet.
And guns in each arm.
8 guns?
This is a 90s action figure like Battle Trolls, right? This isn't real.
You gotta watch out for the flying S words. I guess
and they parachute down?
Yes. Yeah, dude, it was scary. And they're not safe to get bitten by, is my understanding. Like, it's not just like a daddy long leg. They're out for blood.
They've invaded Normandy already. They parachute behind enemy lines.
Oh, no.
Easy Company Spider here, reporting for duty. This is Pappy, recording from Goshen, Indiana. I feel like lots of legs are going to be an issue. And not to go too...
Lots of babies, too.
Yeah, not to go too
Gosh,
too
dang it.
Watchmen with it, but I think like a octopi would be kind of tough to deal with. If they could somehow like bridge the gap, or like a squid or something.
We already saw that King Kong can beat a humongous octopi, right? Octopus, right?
Final answer would say jellyfish. If jellyfish no longer had the pressure issues and they could come to land, like think about like a 400-foot jellyfish.
Yeah, but they're like a simple organism. They can't think. They just
So are
float up and down.
keywords. What do you?
No, they have a bigger brain.
They don't have advanced societies. None of this is a concern.
Advanced societies?
Listen,
Which animals do?
No opposable thumbs.
watch Planet of the Apes.
They're not even they're advanced. They're like using bow and arrows and shit.
Apes on horses, my friend. It's no good. Yeah, jellyfish. You know, its tentacles are getting everywhere. People are just dying. There's only you're supposed to pee on a jellyfish sting. There's only so much piss.
The best part would be when it hits the land for the first time and just crumbles to the ground and dies. That would be the best part.
Does he commit suicide instantly?
There's jelly all over the eastern seaboard. What are we gonna do about it? There's
Oh, that's funny. Sorry, yeah, that would be scary.
Josh. Yeah.
There's a tiny octopus that walks ashore in Godzilla vs. King Kong, the old one.
That's what I was saying earlier.
It drinks the juice. Sorry, Brett, I missed it. But
Oh, sorry.
You're right.
I'm gonna. First of all, Meg, one of our favorite listeners, love you in the end read every time. People always mention yours if there's like a short list. Yeah, but don't tell the spoiler boys no rush in your emails. That's like a giant pile
We'll
of
take it
fish for Godzilla. Like we will eat all of that. No rush.
There is already no rush. But if you say no rush,
It's double.
it will be 8 months later.
She meant Christmas 2025, boys. We're just in the nick of time.
I feel like Godzilla is like a single creature, but the way this movie plays out is it does have like the whole babies thing is a plot line, so I'm gonna kind of go that route. Similarly to Brett, I was throwing around mosquitoes,
Oof.
ants, but I think I'm gonna go with the classic cockroach.
Oh, yeah. You can't kill those.
That'd be a bad
Survives
Maybe hard.
anything.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get killed by a couple missiles like Godzilla does in this movie.
Antennae, multiple legs.
Josh from Goshen. Also, I killed a tick this week. That was pretty epic.
That's an arachnid.
On your body?
Yeah, it reminded me of it. It was on a towel, and my wife pointed it out, and we took it outside, and I got it on cement, and I took a lighter to it, and it just like a champ withstood the lighter for like 2.5 seconds. Just like, oh,
What the fuck?
You got to cut that thing in half, right?
he was just like hair blowing back, but all of a sudden there was like a pop, and it flew at me and like hit my ear and bounced asunder. It was like freaky as hell. I took
Why
off my
didn't you
shirt.
just stomp? Why were you trying to torture
No,
it?
you can't stomp
You
it.
can't do that to ticks. You have to
Stop.
cut it in half or light it
What
on
are
fire.
you guys talking about?
Oh, I think I can stomp a tick.
No, you
All
can't.
right.
You
They're
can't.
You
indestructible.
can't stomp a tick? That's
No.
horseshit.
Stomp a
dude.
tick? Challenge impossible? Are you kidding me?
I'm serious.
What are you like? Your foot bounces off like a trampoline? Like what?
You don't have enough surface area tension. If you like hit it directly with a hammer,
Surface area-
you will
That's
kill
the
it.
Dumbest shit I've ever.
You will
heard.
kill it if you hit it with a hammer, but with your shoe or your foot,
If you got it like with the corner of a boot, like really hard, you could. But he's right.
maybe some new Timbs,
Timbo.
steel rimmed.
The government in this movie is just dropping down a giant Timberland boot. to
That's right.
squash
I'm changing. I'm going from cockroach to tick.
All right, Mikey. What about you?
Well, we're dealing with New York, so you gotta consider the city rat. Just
Ooh,
laying
yeah.
disgusting rat eggs all over the city.
They don't lay eggs. What are you?
Right,
They're definitely mammals.
This rat would raise 4 turtle sons and teach them
Oh,
ninjutsu.
that's cool. That's true.
I don't know. Yeah,
Rat's good. That's a good one.
rats would just be disgusting, covered in crap.
Rats are nasty.
Disease. Everyone would get diseases too, probably.
You guys remember the pizza rat? That was like, they
Yeah.
were like Instagram videos of the rat just like
No.
eating a pepperoni pizza like a normal person.
And hopping
know.
on the train.
I know Chuck E. Cheese.
Who's a mouse?
Toss me a ninja slice.
Corey, what about you? We've had some great animal facts. We've all learned a lot here in this opening question.
This is Corey, Kylo Ren memes. The radioactive spiders idea would spawn so many Spider-Men. Everyone would be a Spider-Man.
Ooh.
That's true.
We'd basically be living in the Madam Web reality at that point. And no one wants that. What was the exact question? Can you say the phrasing again?
It's summer, 1998. An animal is going to come, an irradiated nuclear animal is going to come destroy New York City. What animal is going to cause the most damage? What are you most scared of?
Well, you know what would be cool? If a gremlin from the Gremlins movies was irradiated and it became huge, because they're small and there's they multiply and there's tons of them and they're always hard to deal with. But what if one of them was really fucking big? I feel like if they do another Gremlins movie, that might be included.
I mean, this guy kind of looks like a gremlin.
Gizmo, no, not the East River, no.
Now Gizmo's okay.
Gizmo's
a Mogwai.
He's a Mogwai.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
The Gremlins are the nasty ones. But I don't know, maybe an ostrich, a big ass ostrich. Those things are fucking horrible.
They'd be pecking
And
that
they're
chick pretty
mean.
bad.
And just like Godzilla 98, I feel like you'd shoot it and it'd always be bobbing and weaving, this Godzilla, you can't hit him. He's impossible to hit.
Tricks him with the good old cold blood trick. Multiple times.
Again, I don't know science that well, but I did some research, and that I don't think that science holds up. But I guess we'll get into that, or
I don't think-
ignore it.
Any of the science of this movie holds up.
Or the direction, or the acting.
That's a good. This is the biggest piece of shit of all time, Meg.
This movie sucks ass.
Sorry,
dude.
the Meg.
No, I'm glad you picked it. I saw this shit in theaters, and I was a fucking 8-year-old kid, and I was like, "Well, that wasn't great." And I left and never thought about it again. I don't know, Brett. I know you hadn't seen it. Corey, do you have 90s memories of this movie? Did you see it in theaters? I had the
course I
toy.
do.
I had the toy.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, the toys were cool though. Don't hate on the toys. For
I had
this
the
movie.
baby and the Godzilla version from this.
You hated it, but you got the toy?
All right, 1998. There was a really good teaser for this movie that generated so much hype. The teaser, I'll set it up if you guys haven't seen it. I'm hoping some of you listening remember it. But it's a bunch of kids at a museum, and some tour guide is leading all the kids through the museum, and there's a bunch of dinosaur bones. And he's very drab and boring, and he's telling the kids about this dinosaur lived in the Mesozoic era. He's basically like a Ben Stein stand-in, right?
By the end of the Triassic period. During the Jurassic period and Cretaceous period, the dinosaurs evolved into various adaptive types, many of which reached
And no one's
colossal
having any
size.
fun, and they see the T-Rex, and the kids look up at it, and they're like, finally, something cool.
This creature was believed to be one of the largest predators who ever lived on our planet.
And a giant foot breaks through the top of the museum and crushes the T-Rex like it's nothing, right? It's smaller than this beast's foot. And then, the foot leaves the screen. We don't even get to see Godzilla. And then it tells us Godzilla is coming. And it's like, oh shit. Basically, taking a jab at Jurassic Park, this teaser, right? The teaser came out the same year as The Lost World Jurassic Park, or around there. So Jurassic Park was still in people's minds at this time because the sequel had just come out. Made a lot of money, very popular movie. So Godzilla 98 is kind of next in line here for the dino age of the 90s. And people are fucking hyped about this movie. It's huge. People are thinking, all these shitty Japanese Godzilla movies. And, I know there's fans, but there are a lot of really fucking dumb ones.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, now we're getting the good Godzilla, the American Godzilla. And we get this horrible piece of shit that I do remember everyone liking at the time in my circle. So 12-year-old me and my friends thought this was super cool.
Mm-hmm. It was very unlike any Godzilla movie I had seen prior, right? And we'll get into all that obviously. But I've talked about this before. There were Godzilla movie marathons on TNT, and I had them taped on VHS tape. So I'd watch like Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, we used to rent those when we were kids. They were so awesome. I'm sure they're awful.
Mothra's a good one.
Like, yeah, Mothra, all that stuff. Mecha Streisand was a good one.
Yep.
Godzilla and Ultraman.
I don't remember that one. There's the Ghidra, right? The 3-headed golden dragon thing. Like, those were always good. But this was so different, and this movie wants so badly to be a Spielberg movie. And we've talked about Roland Emmerich before, Brett, on a movie your brother picked, The Patriot. This feels like more up his alley in the sense that it's a disaster movie.
But it was a disaster.
It is a disaster. Can you take us through, I guess, that setup, the premise? Because there's like 4 different times where we're seeing
too many.
the effects of Godzilla. Long movie, too.
Okay, let me try to think. So we start off with, this is going to be a theme, but like the beginning opening credits was way too long. It's
and the ugliest shit you've ever seen, too.
Yeah, it's a lot of bright, really weird colors, and it's all like, hey, this is all these nuclear bombs that are going off, and in this make-believe world, it's France that dropped them all. So every big Asian character actor in the 90s is in this opening scene. Like, I feel like there was at least 4 or 5 that I recognized, and they just get randomly attacked by Godzilla, and some old guy survives somehow. And and then do they go right to the hospital? I don't even remember it. And they just went to the well so many times. I actually thought the scene where the 3 boats get dragged under was actually cool looking. But yeah, and then he drags 3 boats underwater, and it's like,
yeah, dude, you were saying the actors that were in there. I think one of them is our boy from The Raid.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, the guy from Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventure. He plays Genghis Khan, and he's in Die Hard.
Oh, that dude. Yes, it's
the
that
bald
dude.
guy. Like, everybody knows that guy if you see him. He's in like 80s, 90s movies like crazy. Harold and Kumar's dad. Harold's dad's in it, and he's like super American. But yeah, so it just gets taken down. I don't know. Cap, I don't know. I can't remember that far. I mean, after 4 hours of the movie, they go to Chernobyl. People are just walking around Chernobyl. I'm pretty sure that's still unsafe, right?
Well, I think it's important to say, like you said, there's multiple introduction scenes of Godzilla, and the structure within this movie is each scene is a vignette that has to end on a joke. Each individual scene has to have some element of like quote unquote comedy to it. That's not funny at all. It just beats you over the head.
Classic Roland Emmerich, unfunny comedy.
What is a German trying to do comedy? Like what? Why? Just stick to.
He's trying to prove the haters wrong. Germans can be funny.
Didn't you see the comedy awards by Jimmy in South Park? The Germans are the least funny people. Nobody remembers that episode. Yeah. I didn't say that. They did, not me.
Well, we got to bring up, Mikey, your boy. There's a reason we call it Broadzilla. Matthew Broderick. Well, let me just start with this. I know he's in your favorite movie of all time. Is he a good actor? Because this has me questioning it.
I was thinking that the entire time. I was like, I don't know if I like him in anything other than Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Lion King?
And
Grown Up Simba?
Well, yeah, he's fine in Lion King. They were trying so hard to make him a movie star. Like, look at...
Yeah, they're trying really hard.
Look at, like, the movies he was in at this time. Cable Guy.
Watching this is how funny he runs. Like, this guy is not an action star at all. I don't know why they're making him run so much. He looks like he's struggling to just jog away from some of these scenes. But Yeah, I kind of was wondering whether he's an actually good actor, because this is just awful. He has like no presence in this movie whatsoever. I'd rather watch the cameraman run around than Matthew Broderick.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm a biologist. I take radioactive samples and I study them.
That's great. Here's your sample. Study it.
What sample?
You're standing in it.
I don't see it. Where is it? I don't see it.
It's so weird that, like, he ends up not being the focus for a little bit, and they end up splitting up like into almost 3 different groups and following around so many different people.
It's like when they switch the narrative to follow Audrey, the reporter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You almost miss Matthew Broderick's boring ass in this
she's
movie.
so bad. She's so bad. I mean, Hank Azaria is at least.
Why is this the Simpsons cast? Why are there so many Simpsons people in this movie? It's bizarre. Like,
yeah, at least 3 of them, right?
Okay, let's
that B plot though is fucking unwatchable with the reporter.
Yeah.
And like her trying to like make her way in her career.
Oh god.
And how that
so
like
bad.
intersects with Matthew Broderick, Dr. Tatopoulos. No one can pronounce that name, which is funny.
That's the only bit. And that's the only bit that I thought was kind of funny.
I'd never seen that actress before.
She didn't do much. She's in an episode of Friends, and like that's about it. Like she stopped acting in 2008.
She's pretty. I just never seen her.
And some would say she could never act.
The weird thing about the Tatopoulos bit is they do it 2, maybe 3 times, and then just kind of forget about it. Like it's like it just goes away.
But the first time I heard his name, I was thinking, "Oh God, please don't let that be his name." Okay, it's a joke. And I'm like, that would have been ridiculous.
You would think there would be some like cathartic moment at the end where it's like, this is Tatopoulos on the news saying bomb MSG. Like, you know, you would say his name and everyone would know his name, but they don't even pay that off. Josh, we got to bring you in here a little bit. Can you tell us Matthew Broderick's job and how he gets pulled in this whole crazy Godzilla situation?
Colonel! That was a footprint. I was standing inside of a footprint.
That's right.
But there's no animal in the world that makes footprints like that.
Didn't someone say they were taking a jab at Jurassic Park earlier?
Corey, I mentioned it for that.
Is it a jab or is it a complete knockoff, step-by-step remake?
Yeah. Well, my friend, the teaser wants to take a jab at Jurassic Park, and the movie wants to be Jurassic Park.
So badly.
This movie wants to be a Spielberg movie so badly.
And he famously refused to watch it because he loved the original American one.
Matthew Broderick he's just a naive, good old boy scientist doing his own research, and he gets approached by, big government to be like, hey, we have a disaster. You're the guy to check it out. You like worms, right? Well, you're the guy for us. I mean,
the worm guy.
I don't actually know why they get him, because they don't think it's a radioactive problem at that point. Does somebody remember that little bit?
Yeah, that was dumb.
I think the footprint might be radioactive. So they're like, there's
the science doesn't add up.
That's what it is. Because he says, "Where's the radioactive thing?" And they're like, "You're standing in it." And I'd be like, "Oh."
So they do the Jurassic Park moment where he realizes the size of this creature and he sees its destruction. And in Jurassic Park, it's well placed, like about a third of the way through the movie, where they finally have that all-inspiring moment. And here it's like 8 minutes in. And they try to do it like 3 or 4 times. So it's like at 8 minutes, at 10 minutes, and at 13 minutes again.
Sir, that was a footprint. Sir, that was a giant footprint.
Whoa. Those were footprints, right?
Yes, they were.
Anybody see what made them?
Actually, no such luck.
I will say we kind of skipped it, or you went over a little bit. You said there's all the famous like actors that are on that ship that get attacked, Brett.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's one of the highlights though of the movie? That quick attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, again, the 2 scenes I'm talking about on the ocean. Yeah, I mean, you go ahead. It wasn't bad, I guess. First 15 minutes was okay, I guess.
It's weird. But yeah, Pappy asked me about good old Ferris Bueller, and he's looking a lot younger in this movie than I remember. Don't you think, Pat? Looks like a young man out here.
No, he doesn't.
He's cute.
No, he's not.
35, 36.
They say he's cute and young and good looking, Pappy. Yes, he is.
The movie insists how handsome he is. Like multiple women have to tell us he's handsome because it's not apparent to me, the watcher. And also, I fucking can't stand Matthew Broderick in this movie.
Same.
He's such a little bitch, right? Like he has no agency. He has no self-worth. He's not even really a hero. Like, right, Corey? Like, why can't you stand him?
Well, don't tell me what it is and tell me what the hell it is.
Well, what do we know?
There's nothing really to get behind with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I don't
nice.
feel like they ever do much to get us like on his side to make us like feel for him. Like, I mean, you have to compare it to Jurassic Park, right? We're gonna say the term, the phrase Jurassic Park, I think
so
a lot in this podcast.
Yeah,
but like compare him to Grant, who like
no.
has a character arc and, you know, is kind of gruff, but then you start to get on his side with like you start to see like the heroism within him. And he does get a couple action scenes, but I mean, Matthew Broderick is kind of in the unfortunate position in this movie of being written as like the science bitch that everyone laughs at, but he's right. It's like he says something and like, shut up, worm guy. It's like, so what? He studies worms. Like, what is that? Like, that's stupid.
He has an arc.
Listen, worm guy, you may be hot, but I'm not going to listen to you.
He has an arc. He got broke up with. That's his arc.
Yeah, 8 years earlier. Okay.
Got dumped a long time ago.
Do you think we're supposed to like him because, like, the girl's so terrible, at least for the first half? Like, the military people are all, like, kind of a-holes, and the mayor's an a-hole. Do you think we're supposed to like him because he's the only quote-unquote likable person?
I don't know what we're supposed to feel. Like, his reaction to Audrey, like you said, Brett, I'm with you on this one. She might be the worst human being committed to screen ever.
She's so bad. She gets a little better at the end, but like, she's so mean.
She's like, are you still sore with me? He's like, well, you did leave me after 8 years of dating without a note or a call or anything. So
she gaslights him so bad right there. Like,
yeah, I guess.
But he's like happy to see her.
Because he's in love with her. And then she steals the thing, and then she only feels bad when she doesn't get the story. But we'll get to that, I'm sure.
There's also a turning point where she feels bad because she sees pictures that he's still kept around, like a little incel.
But then she turns around and steals the tape right after that.
He's putting on lipstick, looking at those pictures, sharpening a knife.
I guess a lesson, if you're a dude and you get broken up with, just keep the pictures around. There's always a chance she'll come around and be impressed. Yeah. Take you back.
It'll take a while, but
8 years.
I'm surprised it wasn't in a fucking locket with this movie. Yeah. I swear to God, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everything is so heavy-handed in this movie and so, like, forced. And she's like a newscaster. Man, she cannot do a newscaster voice to save her fucking life.
No.
I'm sure Mikey noticed that.
I thought she was cute. I was distracted. And I was picking at a callus on my hand for a real long time.
That was way more exciting than the movie, I bet.
I think these Roland Emmerich movies have a tendency to, like, get started really fast and then, like, meander for 2 fucking hours.
Yes.
Like, that seems to happen all the time. And I've said this before, but, like, The Patriot, I think, is, like, the one good Emmerich movie. Yeah. Everything else kind of sucks. I mean, even Stargate, like, I do kind of like Stargate, but, like, it meanders for a long fucking time, dude.
Same with Independence Day.
Independence Day just sucks.
And it just feels like nothing happens. Nothing of significance happens for long stretches of time.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's like all of his movies, dude. Fucking White House Down. Same shit. Get started real fast. A bunch of bullshit for 2 hours. And it's like, I don't know, just an excuse for action scenes. The whole movie is just an excuse for them. In this case, like the disaster style action scenes, which you got to say this. You can tell that's what Roland Emmerich is interested in, is like having these destructive moments. And when there's like sets and practical effects and, buildings falling apart around people, that looks good, but it never really makes you care about this story. So it doesn't really matter. But, you got to hand him at least that aspect. Like, he does these practical effects pretty well. And then Godzilla comes into frame and, 75% of the time that looks horrible.
But what's insane, like, even before we get to Godzilla, like, what's insane about that is there's no even, like, half-ass pretense of why Godzilla is going to Manhattan. There's not even the
same thing. Why is he going there?
There's not even, like, a horse... Like, give me some horseshit reason, like, oh, lizards migrate to Manhattan once every 20 years. Just lie. Lie to me. Like, give me some...
That would be the dumbest lie.
But why?
Maybe not that one.
All lizards migrate to Manhattan.
Why would he want to leave French Polynesia? I just don't. It doesn't make any sense.
But there's no reason. What is the reason?
I thought there was a reason.
What is it?
He was like, it's an island surrounded by water on all sides, which is the definition.
Shut the fuck up. That's every island.
Which is the definition of an island. But then he says there's a lot of big structures, a lot of places to hide.
A World Trade Center to hide behind.
Japan?
An underground Madison Square Garden.
Japan is an island. Yeah. The bigger city. Yeah. What? And the Godzilla has to cross the Panama Canal.
Which I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Just real quick, can we also just set up, Josh, who is in New York City? We mentioned Audrey, and we mentioned she's a news reporter, but there's a couple other pretty important characters. I'll let you take whoever you want.
I'll take Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
The Worms?
Jake Gyllenhaal?
I would, dude. I wish.
We get this character called Animal, who's like, he works as a cameraman for a local station, and he is like all about like getting the shot. To like, he puts his body on the line. He goes right in Godzilla's path. His character arc, I feel like, Pappy, is that he seems like pretty greasy at the beginning. And then he's pretty much just like a tertiary hero figure with no arc that just like helps. Pretty one-dimensional, really. I didn't hate him.
I don't think he's bad.
I didn't hate him either. He's one of the bright spots for me.
Young Patches O'Houlihan.
Yeah, I like Hayden Kazarian and like everything. So he was the one watchable part of this movie, I guess.
I couldn't tell you a lesson learned from him. I don't know what his arc is, but I think he's like a good character.
He's got a tumultuous relationship with his wife. Like they're always like
worst wife ever. She doesn't realize he's gone. Does she think he's in there banging her friend all day or what?
She's not the worst wife ever. Audrey would be the worst wife.
Drops a hard
ever.
R just out of nowhere.
That is pretty wild.
Can I talk about a couple side characters?
Yes, please.
Gene Siskel and Mayor Roger Ebert.
Wild.
So clearly, Roland Emmerich has a grudge against film reviewers. I don't think he'd be a fan of this podcast. Certainly not me, anyway. But I guess, he got fed up with being shit on by Siskel and Ebert and made them two dipshits in his movie. He did make Ebert the mayor, and then his little henchman, his little wormy henchman was Gene, who obviously Gene Siskel, but almost funny.
Yeah.
In a way, to see that.
The story's funny.
It's it's just funny to see
petty.
A man with a grudge that big and being so petty,
And they got him back. They gave him 2 thumbs down on this movie and said you should have killed us.
Well, it's very much a if you come for the king, you best not miss type scenario.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take a shot at Roger Ebert, then make the biggest piece of dog shit of all time.
Yeah, I want to hear their review of this.
Yeah.
Anyone who has seen many giant creature movies will recognize all the obligatory stops along the way, like the ominous early warnings, the destruction of famous landmarks, and the monster who makes a comeback after you think it's dead. The monster is never dead the first time around in these movies. I didn't even mind the formula. I just wish it had been done better. Consider this scene, for example. Matthew Broderick plays a scientist called in to determine what kind of beast caused a disaster in Panama. Watch the way the movie goes for a cheap shot as the camera pulls back.
What sample? You're standing in it. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's a giant footprint, all right, but obviously the scientist would have known that he was in Panama to study footprints. Anyway, before long, Godzilla has arrived not at its usual destination of Tokyo, but in King Kong's old stomping grounds, New York. Somebody told me it seemed less like a threat than like a pathetic, frightened animal, and you know, that's right.
Roger, I agree with you. You mentioned and complained that the film had all the standard elements of big monster movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing one, terror.
Exactly.
I was never afraid of Godzilla. Let me tell you another problem they have. Frequently, they use dialogue instead of action.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we're told that the monster, once he starts ripping through Manhattan, there's a report that there's looting in the Disney and Warner Brothers stores on 57th Street.
Yeah.
Show us that stuff.
Absolutely.
Don't have somebody say that in dialogue. Show it. It's obvious. It's a natural opportunity for humor with Godzilla playing with all the plush toys. It's not done.
What did you think about Mayor Ebert and his sidekick, Gene?
I thought that seemed petty.
Yeah, I did too.
It does seem.
Yeah, the only good thing about Mayor Ebert and his sidekick was that at least Godzilla didn't step on it.
Well, but Roger, I fully expected that to happen. And I think the audience is waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, maybe they should have included that.
Again,
bring him on stage, at least squish him, right?
Exactly. There are missing scenes.
Okay, next movie in our next...
He does this to mock them, and it just mocks his own movie. It makes you really question, like, what kind of movie is this? Certainly Jurassic Park wouldn't have two meta real-life cartoon caricatures of movie reviewers in it. Like, it's just absurd. And it's not funny.
I think it's not funny in the movie. It's just funny to see this man's grudge come to fruition in that way.
Agreed. 100%.
There's another character, Pappy, Dr. Ellie Sattler. I mean, Dr. Elsie, the paleontologist. Yep. She's even kind of like dressed like the paleontologist in Jurassic Park. You know, she doesn't do much in this movie. Her first moment in this movie is really just to tell us that Matthew Broderick is attractive. It's a good thing she told us, right?
Otherwise, I had no idea.
Yeah, she really sells it.
Yeah, it's starts off the movie with a little sexual harassment.
But you know, I'm going to get into this right now. Here's the other parts that are like Jurassic Park, and we can all jump in on these if we want to. So there's a moment when Broderick, Dr. Tatopoulos, has like a connection with Godzilla. Godzilla like lowers its head down to Matthew Broderick. And they are like sharing a beautiful moment. And the score is trying to generate this feeling of the John Williams Jurassic Park like magic.
Yep.
I don't know how else to describe that sensation other than like that magic warm feeling.
100%. Yep.
It's so pathetic. It's laughably pathetic. And, you know, Jurassic Park was, I think, more in people's minds at the time this movie came out. I'm sure people saw right through it. I didn't because I was 12. Also, Godzilla reproduces asexually.
Life
sound familiar?
Finds a way.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
But having the babies born pregnant is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And not to mention, Jurassic Park has this like great themes, overarching element where Dr. Grant's scared of having kids. Life finds a way. These dinosaurs reproduce asexually. Like it all works. Like even if you don't realize it, your brain does. To quote Mr. Plinkett.
But your brain does.
Yeah, it all works. This is just a scattershot of random fucking ideas and homages that don't land.
I know, it's just like making things fit, right? They want to have like raptors in this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And in order to get to raptors, Godzilla has to lay eggs.
They want to do all the scary door stuff with the raptors.
They want to have a moment where the main character leans in and like lays on something and feels its heart beating or breathing.
Yeah,
just like the Triceratops and the egg in this one. I don't know if we're to that point in the pod where we're just listing items.
No, just list. Yeah.
Yeah.
What they should have done is have a giant steaming pile of shit like in the first Jurassic Park movie that he sticks his hand
They
into.
did. It's called the whole movie.
Yeah, I was saying that pile is the movie.
What were we going to say, Kylo? You have more.
Well, just like the raptors, like the inclusion of like Godzilla's babies in this movie, obviously it's the raptors, but like that whole scene, like when they first emerge, is like pathetically stupid as well, because people see them and it's like a dinosaur that's taller than you. It's like a raptor size animal, right? The people in this movie have seen Jurassic Park. They know that's dangerous. And they see them.
They stand there forever.
And they just chill in there. They just witness it. The one guy's going to take some photos. Matthew Broderick is just going to stand there catching flies with his mouth open. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the baby raptors are also only mobile when they want to. And they're pretty lazy at trying to actually grab people.
They can break a door down when it's steel, but they can't break through the glass at the end.
Or snap at someone 2 feet away from them.
You can just get around them sometimes, right? Like,
yeah, you just give them a juke. Just hit the RB button and just kind of shimmy past them.
Dude, Corey, I didn't realize it. They even jump up in the air ducts. Don't they do that?
God.
Don't they do that in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, right at the end, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought even just them being hatched was kind of playing off a Jurassic Park moment.
That and Aliens. It's kind of like Aliens, too.
Where they watch the eggs hatch, there's like a moment of like reverence. Like, oh, little baby's hatching. So cute. But they're going to grow up to something.
Yeah. I mean, Jean Reno might as well have just asked, like, what species is this? And then Broderick been like, Godzilla's. Like, they breed Godzillas here?
Gojira.
I'm glad you brought up genre now. We have to talk
I have an
about it. Go ahead.
unpopular opinion.
Wait, there's one more big Jurassic Park moment, though.
Yeah,
Go ahead, do it.
First, yeah.
The ending. Like, they end in Jurassic Park with the embryos. Like, oh, there'll still be, like, more eggs. And in this, it's just like, there's one last egg, even though they all got nuked.
Oh, trying for a sequel so hard.
They don't end with that 6th song.
It's the same shit.
It sets up the animated series, actually.
I heard that's good.
Which a lot of these people are in, actually.
I saw a lot of that.
Slow down. Animated series of what?
This movie.
Godzilla.
What?
There's a sequel series that's an animated kids show. It was on like Fox Kids or WB or something like that. And it's very well remembered and like well regarded. It's supposed to be like pretty good. It's like the best thing to come out of this movie anyway, aside from probably the toys, which were pretty sick. But
Godzilla the series, yeah.
It's the surviving egg. And he's like raised by like a kid or something, and then he fights other kaiju. He's like the hero.
Mothra and shit try to come in there and he staves them off. It's back to like original Godzilla shit. You love it.
Kind of reminds me of Gargoyles. Like the animation style.
Yeah, it is very much that like late 90s American animation style.
The old style.
Okay, yeah, now that I'm looking at some of the images, I guess I do remember this. But Brett, your boy, Leon.
The king of Leon.
Ça bouge en bas. Il y a un monde fou. Je comprends pas. Des militaires, des flics. Oh. Quoi? C'est mon breakfast. J'ai faim.
Deploy our weapons, but if we can lure him into a more open area such as this portion of Central Park, I think we should be able to take him down.
He's like the only part of the movie that I quite like because he was kind of funny. Obviously, it's not good enough to make this watchable, and I'm sure I'm probably in the minority there. I just thought he was at least entertaining. I don't think they gave him a lot to work with. So I don't know. They're the worst Secret Service agents ever. They don't fire their guns until the end, and they don't know how to set up. Like, why do you need C4? Can't you have grenades or something you could use? I don't know.
Well, both them, Brett, and the
French.
American military are the biggest bunch of wimps I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
and
everyone
dumb.
is so fucking wimpy in
Bro.
this movie. Like, no one's like a tough badass.
You just
Like,
go up to an egg and start stabbing it. I wanted to see one person stab an egg.
They didn't kill a single baby until
the F-14s drop bombs on them.
like none of the bullets worked.
Yeah, you never see any of them take damage. It's very disappointing.
We're not going to be sad if they kill the babies. I mean,
If you're making excuses for action scenes, why can't there be a missile launcher blowing up in a hallway full of the babies? That would be cool. Like body parts
I know,
flying
dude.
everywhere.
It would be a lot better if they like took some of them out in a fucking epic way, or like Broderick used science.
Cut the heads off of some of them.
You know, he did some kind of science trick or something. I don't know, man. Like
poisons them, and they're like, and it is kind of sad. It'd be cool if it was kind of sad.
Like he used water and electricity, like he does with the worms. Like he shocks them all, or something.
Oh yeah,
some kind
Dude.
of callback.
Now we're talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
callback. There's not. They don't know what that is in this movie. Pat, like, so like, can I get like a?
Wait, what if he like is killing him, and he's like, "That's not enough," and he has this guy with him that has a huge sledgehammer, and he's like,
Oh
"You
gosh,
have to crush the bellies because the eggs are still in there."
What?
would have been
Like a
better.
video game.
Jesus.
Here's a chainsaw.
No,
you know what
you
to
gotta
do.
punch him in the Z on the chest.
Yep.
That's the only way to destroy him.
I don't.
When their head flashes red,
Yeah.
you have to punch them to commit a glory kill.
Here's the thing, Brett. Jean Reno, yeah, he's fine. He's not bad in this, and he actually seems like he's happy, unlike at any point during Leon the Professional. Like
Yeah,
he
oh, yeah.
seems like he's having a good time. It's just the fact that like it's the French Secret Service
It wasn't
as a
necessary.
layer of complexity to this movie that it did not fucking need. Just make it us
No.
who drop the bomb. Like
Exactly.
Unnecessary.
why does it have to be France? Like what?
Dude, you could. How
Roland
much?
Emmerich would never besmirch the name of the good old USA. Because the USA is not at fault for this.
we were framed.
Guys,
There is no bigger patriot in the world than this German man.
Well,
Yeah.
I wait. I got a question about the plot.
German people hate France, so it's not that crazy.
What? Go
So
ahead, Mikey.
in this universe, the French developed the atomic bomb and dropped it.
No, they
No.
just did testing as well.
They're just going crazy
okay.
in Polynesia. Yeah, and that's what caused this particular iguana to want to come to Manhattan. Because why would he not?
Okay.
We went crazy in the atolls, and New Mexico. I don't think we were in French Polynesia.
No, but that's they say that they were dropping him in French Polynesia, which caused the iguanas to mutate. And they're playing the French national anthem during the opening sequence. But again, Josh, I just got to ask, like, why do you think that choice was made? Because it's so confusing. It adds so much. Like, do you get anything off of it, or is it literally just
What
Americans?
choice in particular? That it's about
Why-
the French
Yeah.
Secret Service.
Just man up and say America's atomic testing caused this to happen. It's like removing any culpability from the viewers. Like, oh well, damn the French, those goofballs.
Yeah. Why wouldn't this movie take place in France then? I don't understand
Those
why.
silly gooses, their nuclear testing.
I honestly think the movie's taking itself seriously enough that it has this pretense that it can like pull off this in a real way. But one thing I will disagree with you guys a little bit is I think the French come off pretty good here because the whole point of the Secret
Sure.
Service,
Yeah.
if you really like watch the arc, which it's really hard to get to that point, but they're finally like, we're just doing this because it's the right thing to do. We have to like clean up
Like
our
honor, yeah.
mess.
Well,
It's just like their intentions are good.
I guess it's a bit of Men in Black where they're trying to be like, we don't want anyone to know that we caused this. You know, that's as much their motivation as the cleanup.
Yeah, secret war crimes. Committing some secret war crimes.
Le croissant? Non, monsieur.
Ah, you call this coffee?
I call this America.
I wish he would have allowed like hit the coffee so bad they like do a heel turn and like just are hell bent on freeing up Godzilla and his spawn. They like that could have been a nice twist in the movie. Like America, this is how we could take America out.
With the Godzilla raptors?
Somehow train them.
You got an inside Godzilla man. I just need 30 or 40 good Godzilla man. Could take over this nation.
I want to ask you guys individually. Maybe we've already talked about it, maybe not. But what do you think is like the worst part of this movie for you? Like this single moment. What do you think, Pappy?
There's this old guy standing on a pier.
He's a pappy.
When Godzilla's coming up.
Oh, that's a Jaws. That's a Jaws 3 ripoff, really bad.
Well, yeah, no, of course. There's many homages to Jaws. There's one shot like within the boat, which is a straight reconstruction of a shot from within Jaws.
Jaws.
There's that
4.
zoom
But
in.
how far did he cast it out though? What an arm on him.
This
He
man
got it out there.
This man is staring down a 200-foot tidal wave being caused by the biggest lizard humanity's ever seen, and he puts his hands on his cheeks like fucking
Home Alone.
Kevin McAllister.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, Home Alone. Like that is so bad. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel during that moment.
He definitely died though, so at least you had that.
A lot of people died in this movie.
He deserved
He
it.
dies. He gets fucking rocked after the comic relief.
He had a huge action scene where he's like running down a bridge and all the planks are flying everywhere. That
Corey,
was pretty funny.
I think the first time that when Godzilla's running away from the people, that he jumps and like parkours off of buildings and they don't just crumble right when he steps on them. Or like when he's running on the bridge at the end, it's like, I know that's designed to hold a lot of weight all the way through, but I don't know if that bridge is designed to hold 50 tons at one point.
Yes.
But
Oh yes, and Brett's answer, because I think I think Godzilla slowly shrinks throughout this movie. Where at the end he can fit on the bridge, but at the beginning he's like size of a mountain.
don't forget that he magically gets fire breathing one time.
One time. He should be the size of a mountain, by the way. And that's my biggest gripe with the movie, Kylo. The way this Godzilla looks, the design of the creature is bullshit.
It's horrible. It's so
It does have sexy legs, and they're shown off a lot early on.
Oh, this guy's beefed up.
The calves.
So strange.
Muscular calves.
Dude, when he's coming out of the sewer the first time, he's fucking ripped. He's got like a 6-pack and huge arms.
He's like Trogdor.
The Burninator.
Not only a character design and size, but like a way that like Godzilla moves and destroys things. It's very specific. It's not a character that talks. It's the only way he communicates, by those few things. And it's all changed in this. So it's like, this is not Godzilla to me.
Well, he is a T-Rex in this movie.
He's an Allosaurus. I don't know what the
Are
hell
going
is
for
he?
a Jurassic Park more than Godzilla.
The worst part of this movie, for me, is a scene that involves the mini Godzillas, the raptors. There's a scene where like the group kind of gets split up and they're running away from them. Matthew Broderick is alone and he kind of like fights some off and gets into an elevator.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And the elevator takes him to a floor and it
no.
dings.
Yeah.
And the door opens and he sees Godzilla raptors when the door opens and they all stop what they're doing. They're eating popcorn. They stop eating popcorn.
Are they really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they turn and they look at him like, "Burr?" And he says, "Wrong floor."
Oh.
And then the door closes and he continues down the elevator. It is so fucking bad. I cannot believe how bad that is. It's like insulting.
Mm-hmm. Why can't this movie just stand on business for one scene and not have a joke? Like, why does every single scene, like, even when people are dying all around us, it needs to be like, oh, the Nick shower here, huh? Like, there's got to be a joke.
That was great.
Yeah, take yourself
There's
seriously for 5
9/11s
seconds.
happening every hour with this thing running around. and everybody's joking.
9/11s.
I will say, let's talk about the big boy himself. Josh, you brought it up. First of all, the fact that I'm supposed to believe that this giant monster who leaves a footprint like 8 Matthew Brodericks tall and 4 Matthew Brodericks wide just gets lost at times. Like, the Godzilla is the worst part of this movie, right? Like, it really is.
I think the mini Godzillas are the worst. But yeah,
the only place Godzilla can disappear to is the sea. He can't go into a
Yes.
basketball locker room. And
No,
hide.
no,
It's
he can't.
unreal.
I know,
Who
but he
thought of
was
that?
though. He was busting through the grounds and the buildings
He
were staying
somehow
up.
laid eggs inside the arena, but when he came up through Madison Square Garden, his head was the size of the entire arena.
He can also get small enough to hide in the hot tub in the locker room, the spa, to just like chill out for a couple days.
Dude, I bet you dollars to donuts there was a fucking pitch for this movie where like Patrick Ewing is in there.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Like practicing, and like his like hype man says like, "There's no one bigger than you, Patrick,"
Oh my god.
or some shit like that, and he turns around and sees Godzilla.
That's such an awesome 90s joke. Like that would be so perfect. Oh man.
See,
John Starks.
Patrick Ewing or a child actor could get away with like moving up a floor on an elevator, Kylo, and being like, "Oh, wrong floor." But when it's your titular character and it's supposed to be a good actor, I can't believe that happened.
Wrong floor.
They're eating popcorn from the concessions area of the Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
They're
That part-
having a party.
It's like Gremlins for the one moment.
Yeah,
is
that
like
definitely
Gremlins.
that is a Gremlin scene.
One of them had a Knicks hat on. It was really weird.
Oh god. or like an I Love New York shirt. Yeah.
And it's just like to make Godzilla the ugliest piece of shit CGI monstrosity. And I know it's been said, but yeah, Jurassic Park was many years before this, and Godzilla looks infinitely worse than Jurassic Park dinosaurs. But then to kill him off at like the 90-minute mark, probably like maybe even like 100-minute mark because this movie's so fucking long.
900-minute mark.
And then
You mean the first death?
yeah,
Yeah, first one.
to quote unquote kill him off, and then to make it this like raptor movie is
Yeah, that was
so
so
bad.
stupid. I don't understand that. It's like 45 minutes.
That's my biggest memory when I watched it in theaters. I don't know about you, Pappy, but like I remember it turned me off against like Godzilla seeing this in the theaters back then. And my only lasting memory was like, yeah, there's like a bunch of little raptor Godzillas running around a locker room or something. It's so weird.
And I also think this movie has no idea how it wants us, the audience, to feel about Godzilla, right? Because Godzilla can take a couple different like personas. Like he's either evil or he's like true neutral, like chaotic neutral, like he's just an animal. Or he can sometimes like be the good guy, like team up with King Kong
When
to
is
go
he
through a
evil?
portal and fight something else. Like
Godzilla -1.
yeah, or like the very original Godzilla when he's like an allegory for the atomic bomb. Like he's just fucking shit up. Like he is a problem. But at times,
But he's born that way.
at times it's like this movie wants us to be sympathetic. Like someone mentioned the way Matthew Broderick like looks at Godzilla, but then at other times it's like I don't know. I don't know because it's like the military is fucking shit up worse than Godzilla. Like, I guess that's a question, Corey. Like, how do you think?
Dude.
Like, how should we feel about Godzilla?
They blow up the Chrysler building and the Flatiron building.
Yeah.
Well,
Immediately.
Roger Ebert points it out. He's like, you guys are fucking up the city worse than the monster.
Yeah.
Because they cannot hit him. They cannot fucking land a shot on him.
because he's cold blooded. That's why.
it doesn't matter, dude. Even when they're firing their helicopter miniguns, or actually they're not miniguns, they're just guns, I guess. They're major guns. I don't know. Their big ass helicopter guns are missing every time because Godzilla's just like fucking Muhammad Ali in that shit. Like he's just
drifting.
Dude, he has that fancy footwork. They can't nail him. So like a lot of the reason they can't take him down is their own incompetence until they finally do. And it's like, oh, the regular weapons they do work. They've just been missing the whole time.
Right.
He's not supposed to be. Can you guys fill me in on like the video game terms? This is like a complete betrayal of Godzilla's character. Like what little characteristics you can attribute to him. He's supposed to absorb bullets and like move through and past things. He's certainly not supposed to be parkouring off of buildings. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's like what you'd call like invulnerable, right? Like in the comic book superhero terminology.
Yeah, and maybe like you find a way to start hurting him and then he has to like retreat back to the ocean for a while, but certainly doesn't like strategically run away from a missile and then make it like horseshoe back to hit the other submarine because he's so smart.
Yeah, dude, what is he doing? He's
Holy
like watched
shit.
fucking what's that Connery movie?
Hunt for Red October. Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen Hunt for Red October. He knows how to boomerang the
I was
goddamn.
gonna say Crimson Tide, but yeah.
Can I just say too, his injuries lead to Matthew Broderick using an over-the-counter pregnancy test, which, by the way,
that is the dumbest freaking thing.
this pharmacy is open during this apocalyptic scenario. He just walks into a pharmacy, buys a pregnancy test.
People got their prescriptions.
And it's such a terrible plot point to the point where Matthew Broderick has to say, listen, I know this is fucking stupid, but it essentially should work the same way. And it's so awful. It's so god awful. Like,
oh, it's Godzilla.
what made him even think to test the blood? Like, where did that hypothesis come from? Like, why would he even think to do that?
There's a lot of like missing writing there, right? Like, I mean, we've talked about all throughout the movie, but like that should connect to something with his worm experiments. I don't know, right? There should be something that indicates the pregnancy that, you know, we saw in the very beginning in his introductory scene. I don't know. There's just like nothing like comes back on itself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. None of it matters because we're trying to inject the love story into the movie now. They've finally met up, and so now this is all he thinks about is this woman. And she sees all these creepy pictures of herself in his office or whatever. She's totally freaked out.
Kylo, I would like to give another go to your question. Because I think I answered it like when I just pointed out the character design of Godzilla being the worst thing about the movie. I do think that's the worst thing, but there's a specific scene, and this is what I think you were fishing for, that made me feel like I was in the worst hands ever. Do you remember like right after the government picks up Matthew Broderick and they're like, hey, you got to come with us now. And they take him up in this plane, and the plane's like, they show the plane for like 20 seconds flying through these heavy clouds. It's getting like struck by lightning, bobbing all over the place. And then they like zoom in and you're inside the plane and there's like this huge spacious room and Matthew Broderick is fucking looking through a microscope.
Thank you.
Examining slides in like the most perfectly still room. Like it just completely just shattered any sense of like, this is realistic movie making.
Josh, the plane looked like it was one of those like water planes, and then when they go inside, like the cabin is humongous. It's like I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that is not the same plane.
Could you imagine looking through a microscope on even like a gigantic Boeing commercial plane
on a 747?
Yes.
I want to break my orbital bone.
Yeah,
it's so wild.
I want my eyeball to break.
Can I give another shot to the question of what's the worst thing in this movie? Because at one point,
we should keep returning to this.
Yeah. They have.
I think that's the only question left.
They have radar, right? And they're tracking Godzilla with radar, and their plan is to lure him out with a big pile of fish, which John Reno says is very clever. We as the audience get a view of the radar, and the giant pile of fish is indicated by a giant fish blob on the radar.
Yeah.
I don't know if I noticed that. That's awesome.
Why? Why? How did that come to pass within the world of this movie? They programmed a fish in, like that's. They set the fish out in the shape of a big fish? Like what?
Some fucking poor IT guy. That's their job to graphic design this shit for them.
Hey, listen, we have a requirement for a fish blip on the radar.
This guy's like, God damn it.
Can you push that to prod the next hour?
That's why IT guys are so angry, by the way. Yeah, and then, it's followed up by a very famous line, a line I can't believe was written on paper at some point. That's a lot of fish.
Oh, gosh. Is that like supposed to be like that's a huge pile of, is that what?
Yeah, it is.
Just ripping
it is
that?
like that.
That is one big pile of fish.
Were there just some executive
That's
producers that were like, instead of I need more cowbell, I need more Jurassic Park in this Godzilla movie?
Dear God.
Who's the guy who plays like the head military?
Kevin Dunn. Like the
Ben from Veep.
Kevin Dunn, yeah. Colonel Hicks or
Kevin
like
Dunn,
the guy
yeah,
who
that's
comes
his
in.
name.
The guy from, yeah.
Who's
I like
his
him too.
subordinate that wants his approval in every scene?
I like Kevin Dunn, but I hate him in this movie.
Kevin Dunn is just that character is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. He's written very poorly.
I like to think that this is like a precursor to Veep. Like he goes from his military career here to being Selena Myers' chief of staff.
I feel like that part would have been better suited for Forrest Whitaker.
Sure.
Yeah. I really wish there was a scene where he was the guy yelling at some poor IT guy to like make the fish emblem on the radar. Like that would be one of the most interesting things he said. Can you guys think of anything he like substance wise? Like it just serves like the movie purpose. There has to be like.
Well, yeah, he's the hard military guy who. Yeah, I mean. Yeah,
he makes a lot of bad judgment calls. Blows up a lot of buildings.
Is he married? What part of the country is he from? Is he have any interests outside of military? Like
he was born in Nebraska, and he did his basic training in California, and then he was just out to the world.
What?
Dang, do you read the book or what?
No.
The novelization?
Is that lore?
No, it's not lore. I just made
He
it up.
was definitely in Vietnam.
Yeah, he's old enough. 55.
No offense to Kevin Dunn. That character is just really bad in this movie.
Well, no, even worse is the guy who comes in and outranks him. Like, I like that actor, but he's awful in this movie, and he's like, Chris Ellis, General Anderson. He's like, ugh. He's the one who kicks out Matthew Broderick. Like, what was the whole point? They brought him in for like 19 minutes, and then they kick him out. It's just really dumb.
Mm-hmm. One of the moments I remember most from this movie is Jean Reno getting really close to the Asian man who has just witnessed a terrible accident on his like fishing boat or whatever it was.
Gojira.
Yeah, and he goes, Gojira. Gojira. And he has like a lighter all up his nose, you know?
Why?
Yeah.
And then you see that again later. They used the footage that we see of Jean Reno's first person as if it was like camera footage in the movie. I hate it when movies do that, right? They take a scene you saw earlier and then it's supposed to be like camera footage from the movie. I'm sure Josh noticed this,
Who's
right?
filming that? Within the context
Tell me
of
what
the
you
story.
saw, old man.
I noticed that, Kylo, but I was also wondering, like, why is like triggering a lighter like triggering his memory? Like he's like, now do you remember Godzilla? Like what's he doing?
I thought he was trying to put him in a trance.
Happy, why don't you tell us what he would have said on that ship?
Does anybody know what the lighter is? I mean, it kind of looks cool as like a film technique, like to see a lighter. And
No, it doesn't look cool. That's so stupid. There's no point.
no like actual reason you would light a lighter in front of an old man's face asking him a difficult PTSD question, right?
You're scaring the shit out of him.
Yeah.
What did you see? Answer me or I will set you on fire.
Yeah.
It's a threat.
He tells him, "Tell me what you saw, old man."
Or else.
Yes. He's like, that's...
What you didn't see is they doused him in gasoline.
Yeah.
He already had his ear off. That was off screen.
What is he saying? Is that the name of the monster? No, it's saying, don't burn me alive in Japanese.
That means please don't.
His body is already irradiated. They're doing a Geiger counter over him and lighting up like a Christmas tree.
Let's start to bring this to some kind of conclusion. Like, what Godzilla sees his babies being destroyed. Corey, is there anything from this action sequence at the end in the taxi that sticks out to you? Is there anything you can glean positive from it, or is it just a mess? Just take us through the end. What happens to each of the characters, basically?
Well, it's kind of like the T-Rex chasing the Jeep in Jurassic Park, but obviously the Godzilla monster is like way bigger.
Yep.
And, other than like Godzilla fake shooting fire out of his mouth, I don't think there's a whole lot here, right? We're getting to the end where they're going to take him down because we had the one fake out death. We got rid of the Godzilla raptors. So now all that's left is to take out Godzilla for reals. And they have to get him away from the building so they can shoot him, because you just got to shoot him with a plane, right? It can be done. It's actually not too hard when they get there. They get him to the bridge. They got the jets. They fire on him. It hurts him. It kills him. It takes him out. But in terms of the chase, it's the same thing you see in kind of Jurassic Park. It's the, what do you call it? Like the beak, the mouth, constantly coming down, trying to bite it and missing.
Must go faster.
It does that like, I don't know, 10 times. I know Roland Emmerich has Jurassic Park on the mind because he used that must go faster line in Independence Day. At the very end when they're leaving the mothership, Jeff Goldblum literally says must go faster because like the gate of the mothership is closing when he's escaping it. So I know what you're doing there, Roland.
They're closing up on us. Is that closing? Shut up! Must go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster. Go, 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 go! Must go faster.
I take umbrage with that taxi scene.
The worst looking scene is
I take
the
umbrage
taxi,
with that.
just Fast and
In
Furious.
the mouth?
Yeah, out of the mouth.
Oh.
And like landing
Oh,
on
yeah.
the bridge or whatever. That looked horrible.
It was crushed in between Godzilla's mouth for a minute, but it just drives right off, just fine. Everyone's good.
Yeah.
They also had time to make a joke in there, to Pappy's point, while in the mouth.
Yeah,
They
what did he
made
say?
jokes.
Continue the joke.
He's not following us!
Really?
We're in the mouth. It's supposed to be funny.
Oh, God.
They could have made a joke about like the gum, like, oh, this Godzilla needs some gum, like call back to. But again, why does every scene need a joke? Why can't this movie have any confidence in what it is?
Thank you very
And
much.
not, I don't
And
know.
what, being a boring piece of shit?
Yeah.
Mikey, we were talking about that taxi scene. Did it get to you at all that Godzilla would never focus in on a single taxi and follow it around for like 10
Stupid.
or 15 minutes? He's above
He had
that,
the connection.
right?
He had the connection.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong. We saw the one scene with Godzilla, the one brief scene where he has fire breath, and then he literally has his head in the same tunnel as this taxi and doesn't use his fire breath for some reason.
Yeah. Or step on the tunnel and go right through it.
It's like a fake fire breath. It's like he breathes and it blows a bunch of cars forward and one of them explodes. So it like gives the illusion. But, you know, this Godzilla is nothing compared to like regular Godzilla. In fact, Josh probably knows this, but there's a movie called Godzilla Final Wars where Godzilla fights this version of Godzilla. Now, this version, by the way,
holy shit,
we've been calling it Godzilla. His name is Zilla in like the Godzilla wiki, or like, you know, in the canon. This one's called Zilla, so it's actually not Godzilla. He doesn't get the title. Even though there are multiple versions of Godzilla, this is not one of them. This is Zilla.
Doesn't deserve it. Pretender.
Does he get killed by the other Godzilla?
Zilla fights regular Godzilla.
I hope he gets fucking smashed.
Zilla runs at him, you know, with his acrobatic speed, and Godzilla like tail swipes him and knocks him into the Sydney Opera House, and then just nukes him with his nuclear breath.
Let's
and that's
fucking
it.
go. That's a Godzilla movie.
I would love to see that.
He one-shots his ass.
That is cinema.
And then teabags him?
But what about the babies? Did it get every last baby?
I hope so.
Yeah, the little Godzillas born pregnant and barefoot.
The thing is, too, is like with the end of this movie, there's no like coherent character arcs for anyone outside of Jean Reno. Like Jean Reno actually kind of gets what he wants and is going to Men in Black the existing tape. But for some reason now we're supposed to believe that Matthew Broderick and his new old girlfriend Audrey are happy with her like getting television exposure. Like, obviously, yes, of course, this monster story works best when you make it about the people and not the monster. But I don't know what any of these fucking people want or why I should be so excited that they got on TV for a little bit. Like, it's incoherent. It's so bad.
As much as I shit on Independence Day, there are character arcs that are tied up in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Well, the whole dad and his two kids, the crazy dad, that's more of an arc than anything in this movie, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. Even like Will Smith has somewhat of a character arc. And the president, even.
Yep.
Dennis Quaid.
It's Randy Quaid.
Bill Pullman is the president.
Dennis Quaid was not featured in Independence Day.
I just wanted to say the name Dennis Quaid, just randomly there.
I had the soundtrack for this. Did you guys have a soundtrack?
I know it's bad, but Come With Me was my jam.
Jesus.
Ugh.
I know it's bad, but this is 98.
Happy, do you know the song Come With Me that he's talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I know the song at the end. I did have the soundtrack. I had the CD with the I on it.
Oh,
yeah, I definitely had the CD. But that song sucks.
It was pretty famous, that Come With Me song. You know, obviously it's Kashmir from Led Zeppelin with P. Diddy rapping over it instead of Robert Plant.
There's a lot going on.
He was pumped.
Amazing vocals. It was kind of gimmicky, but also like one of the first that I remember of there being like a rock/rap song. I mean, obviously there was the Aerosmith Run DMC that existed at this time, but this is one of the big ones at the time, and it was very much of its time, you know, with P. Diddy in there, except he was Puff Daddy at the time.
Oh, yeah.
But this soundtrack also had Brain Stew by Green Day. You know that meth song?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild that P. Diddy's involvement in this film is not even the top 100 things that are wrong with it. Like, there's so many worse things.
Yeah. I mean, the movie itself is just, it's just real bad, and it's so fucking long. Like, it feels so long. Sometimes you watch a movie, and it's really long, and you don't feel it. You know, I'd like to think Avengers Infinity War is a good example, but this movie is long, and it just, goddamn, feels long. It never ends, man.
I started it at 5:30 and it ended at 8, and I was like, "What? How the fuck did this happen?" Just so much time. It's like I just got sucked into a black hole and lost so much time.
It's not worth it. You know, like at no point, like why did we have to spend 5 minutes on how Matthew Broderick pronounces his name in the movie? It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't tell us anything about him. It's not worth it. Like I don't know. You guys have any other final thoughts?
I guess I just kind of like cracking up.
Did you crack up at all, Josh? Did you laugh?
I don't think I laughed.
I just feel like that's Roland Emmerich's. Like, why is this part in the movie? I just am looking forward to cracking up.
What are you looking forward to most about this film?
Well, I think I'm looking forward to cracking up. I hope I can, totally crack up. So I haven't, totally cracked up in a long time.
Real crack ups.
Yeah, man.
I laughed at the fish, not with the fish. What other final thoughts? Brett, you said you had some.
Can someone tell me why, when Godzilla's coming through the city to get the fish and it's, knocking crap over, the music's, trying to be, flowy and triumphant. And I'm like, this is not the vibe. It's just that's the wrong vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's insane that I know they didn't have a lot of time, but right after those bombs go off, right after they shoot the not torpedoes, but the bombs at MSG, they should have 500 military people going throughout that building and blowing any leftover dinosaur into smithereens.
Fumigating it, chemicals.
Something.
All sorts of shit.
Anything. Something like that.
Robotic dogs, swords.
Just nuke it. Who cares anymore? Manhattan's done.
Yeah, just nuke it.
Okay, so this movie was nominated for 6 Razzies and only won 2. I don't even know the movie that won Worst Picture. Do you know this, Corey? An Alan Smithy film, Burn Hollywood Burn?
No, don't know it.
Me neither. This was the year that Bruce Willis won for Armageddon, Mercury Rising, and The Siege. So, it did win Worst Supporting Actress for not even the main girl. It's the wife, Maria Patillo, I think. Or is she the other one? Sorry, hold on.
She's New York lady.
Oh, it is Audrey.
Yeah,
it is Audrey.
Audrey.
Yeah, and that's a good one. And then Worst Remake or Sequel, it won that. It didn't win Worst Director or Worst Screenplay or Worst Movie Trends, whatever that is.
Can I just say that does kind of suck about the Razzies? Like, Maria Patillo is bad in this movie, but she had no substantial career really outside of this. Like, she retired 10 years later. Like, I don't know. It feels a little mean-spirited. It's more on the casting than on her.
Yeah, and they didn't give her a lot to work with.
The Razzies are kind of mean-spirited, but I think
definitely.
if you have fun with it, fucking Halle Berry accepted her Razzie for Catwoman.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
But she had an Oscar. Like, it's different than just this random woman who...
Social Baptist warrior over here.
Listen, I will defend Maria.
What do you think, the best case scenario was for this Audrey? What? She sucks a lollipop. I don't know what her whole thing is. What was this supposed to be? I get why she got the Razzie because this character is so bad. It's not really about the actress, but what was the best case scenario? What was in the director's mind?
The best case scenario is she left Matthew Broderick because she wanted to focus on her career, and him coming back in her life signifies that she can do both. Get you and Audrey who can do both, right? She can now be with him, but be a successful reporter. Now, that's nowhere in the bones of this movie. Not even in the marrow of this movie does that exist. But that's the only way. You tell some kind of 90s feminist story, right? Of she wanted to focus on her career. She felt like she couldn't. But Matthew Broderick's such a bitch that he's just going to be there anyway. You might as well take him back. Is that work at all, Josh? Is that what you're going for?
I like what that could have become in your words. just so lost on what they were going for. Sorry, that question was so confusing.
She dumped Matthew Broderick to be a news intern for 8 years before running into him again.
She's so horrible to him. She's so mean to him.
That's going to be one of my last final thoughts is, dude, there's no coming back from, in my opinion. You date someone for 4 years, he proposes to you, and you leave for 8 years without even telling him where you are? It's awful. It's awful. And then she, first of all, I'm ticked off that this movie, let everyone know my hiding spot. When I have stuff that's top secret, I always keep it out in view. Like, now I have to hide it. It's so dumb.
What are you talking about there, Brett?
Like, what kind of stuff?
Tapes that say top secret.
What top secret tapes do you have?
Oh, I had a top secret tape, but Jess stole it and then gaslighted me into making me think that I'd lost it. So,
as long as it said top secret on the tape, like that was written in marker, then it truly is top secret.
People are gonna think it's a Val Kilmer movie.
That's my question for Pappy, because we don't really have tapes anymore, but the equivalent, the modern day equivalent, is like a folder on your desktop. Are you naming your top secret porn folder? Like, that's the name.
We all know it's taxes.
Taxes, summer 98.
We all know.
You guys don't still use homework?
You gotta hide that thing like 8 folders deep. Anyway.
Cat pics.
Relevant.
Well, I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
The real question of this podcast is this movie better or worse than Southland Tales?
I was gonna ask the same question. I don't think it's worse, but
it's way worse.
No.
I don't think it's worse, but I think we ripped on it as much as we ripped on Southland Tales. Like, I think this might be up there. I was thinking the same thing. Like, this had such a vibe. Like, everybody hated it.
Pappy's gonna crawl back to the Meg and try to give her money to appease her. Since
that was Stevie.
Don't even.
You're gonna buy her off?
That was Stevie. I never offered anyone a refund.
Meg, you're never getting this $5 back.
Listen, Meg, we love you, but that horse is out of the barn. The money has been spent on trips to Michigan. But it's way worse because of what it represented. There hadn't been a major Godzilla release in North America, like maybe ever. Like had there ever been a time where you could go see a Godzilla movie that was hyped with like fucking McDonald's toys and a toy line that got the treatment of like a Spielberg movie or a George Lucas movie? Like, all...
Not to that degree. Yeah, this was it, man.
All 8-year-old Pappy wanted was a Godzilla movie. And I got this fucking knockoff Spielberg bullshit that's not even a tenth of as good as any of the movies he's ripping off, like Jaws or Jurassic Park or anything else. So it's like, that's why it's worse. Like, at least Southland Tales is original. Does it work? No. But it's not...
Way too original.
No shit.
But it's not bastardizing a classic film franchise. Like, I think about how bad you have to be one of the worst Godzilla movies. That's a pretty fucking low bar.
Yeah, there's some horse shit out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I gave the one that you like a half star.
On Rotten Tomatoes, Southland Tales has a higher score. I mean, Godzilla's at 2.2 out of 5 stars, and Southland Tales is at a solid 3. But Southland Tales, the popular reviews are all like just blowing that movie so hard. Like, they're all so positive. People fucking love this line. Pimps don't commit suicide, which I think is one of the worst lines ever.
I hate it.
People think that's so cool.
It's not cool.
Ask those people where they were January 6th. All of them.
By the way, real quick, one last final thought. Meg actually did respond to me in real time during this pod because we didn't have her opening question. We'll go around the table real quick.
Ask it.
But
love it.
She said, what are your thoughts on the importance of staying true to the original source material when reimagining a movie franchise? Like, if you owned a movie franchise, how important would that be to you? And we'll whip around the table east to west. All I'll say is, honestly, to me, it's not very important at all. The problem is, honestly, from like a dollars and cents standpoint. And if you're going to alienate your core group of fans, then whatever project you're working on isn't going to be that well received. Like, for all I care, make the hero the villain. Like, turn it inside out. Like, use it as inspiration. You don't owe these people shit. But if I was going to like adopt Red Dead Redemption, for example, right? Like, I feel like I would have to be kind of true to who a lot of those main characters are, just from the fan service perspective. Brett, real quick, just to you.
Is this about staying true to the source material type thing?
Yeah, how important is it to stay true?
Well, okay, so it depends for me. Like, 2 examples. You know, I think the Lord of the Rings books are pretty good, but I like the movies so much more, and they're way different, like to the point where people who love the books hate the movies because they're so different. But it works for me. It's gonna work for some people. Like, on the other opposite hand, I like pretty much despise most of the Harry Potter movies just because I love the book so much, and the movies are just like bastardizations of them. But people love it, so I don't think it's that important if it's entertaining. But like, if you're gonna change so much, like, it kind of like Corey said, like, this is barely even Godzilla. Like, you didn't even get the name. They didn't even give him the name, so I don't know. It's not that important for me. He didn't even get God status. He didn't even get God.
Godless Zilla.
Atheist Zilla.
But that's all I have. I think it depends, but it's not that important if it's entertaining and smartly written.
It is. This is gonna sound so like arbitrary too, but it's like, if you're gonna call something a Godzilla movie or a Red Dead Redemption movie or like a Fallout show, then you do kind of owe it to be somewhat on track. Like, if you want to use that inspiration and go your own direction, that's fine. But I can see how people would be pissed if you've been waiting, 30 years for a movie based on your favorite book and they fuck it up.
Have you seen kind of what, how much of a mess it was? Like, the Japanese people said you could make this movie if you do all these things for Godzilla, and they did almost none of them because the list never made it to the character design person.
Well,
obviously the Japanese threat was not a real threat, but I'm getting in the way of everyone talking, so it just was a mess. I wish Stevie was here because he knows a lot about like the crap that went on and why this movie's so bad. But
I wish Stevie were here too. Josh, what do you say?
I know I ripped on the character design earlier, but I think that like really pales in comparison to just like being true to like the heart of the characters that you're taking on. And that's so funny to say about a Godzilla movie because it's like the tiny heart and the tiny brain of a reptile soul or something.
This is the brain of Godzilla. This is the brain of King Kong.
Any questions?
But he has like 3 or 4 defining characteristics outside of his physical appearance, and like you'd like to see those like stay true.
He didn't even slide on his tail.
That's a classic Godzilla movie.
Dude,
that's the one with Ultraman, by the way.
Is it? But like, just the character design and his iconic screech and the fire, that does like a decent amount of heavy lifting on any Godzilla movie, and like that'll give you.
I don't feel like we got a good iconic screech though. Like that.
No, we didn't. That's what I'm saying. It didn't happen, and you're losing out on just automatic points for how awesome he looks because you changed everything. Then you're just freaking, and then you make a bad movie on top of it. It's freaking doomed. It was doomed.
It's like, put your name on the test, at least.
They should have just named it like Lizard King or something, and just avoided all of the hate it was going to get for not being Godzilla. Because, like we said, there's no defining characteristics of what we know of Godzilla.
We might not have pressed our finger on too hard is the fact that the movie does just take place in New York the whole time. So much stronger when Godzilla's like moving through the world.
Agreed.
And in the old movies, like he would disappear and like come to a different landmass, sometimes unnamed, just like rural areas, and create havoc. But I like that. It, like just the fact he burrows into Manhattan. It's like So bad.
It's lazy. Like, Josh, I'm with you. Like, one of the coolest things about Godzilla is, like, you're on a train and 43 miles away, you see Godzilla because he's so big and you're like, crap, he's coming this way.
And he disappears and people think maybe he's gone and he won't come back, and he looms again. It's not that he's just burrowed into the city and it's just a matter of time before he explodes out.
Do they just want to save
Doesn't
money?
matter.
It's just dumb. I'm with you. I didn't think about that. Like, you got to at least have him out in the open sometimes, or hopping in and out of the water, which they did
And
a little bit,
Godzilla doesn't swim. He walks on the bottom of the ocean
Yep.
floor. Right, Kylo?
Seems really slow and inefficient.
He's not swimming like Michael Phelps.
He just trudges.
He swims in -1.
Yeah, he swims sometimes, but you know.
Like in this movie, though, like that. Like
Well, in this movie, he's like fucking Michael Phelps in there dodging torpedoes.
He's got like a great breaststroke going on for a while.
He's got the perfect swimmer's body. What was the question?
staying true to, like, I don't know, source
Like
material.
reimaginings.
Yeah, I mean, this question gets brought up when they like remake video games and stuff, and I think there is something to be had for maintaining a look or maintaining like the gameplay of a game being remade or something. But I mean, here it doesn't seem like they wanted to borrow anything from the IP to bring it into this movie. So I can't even say that this is a Godzilla movie that would be approved by the creator of Godzilla.
Akira Toriyama.
I believe the creator died.
Just kidding.
A couple weeks either before they started filming or after. But like a lot of the people that are involved in the company, it's like Toho Co. They weren't very
You said
happy.
around the time of this movie?
I think so.
I'd like to think he was like that old dude in the bed, you know? He was like laying there.
That was footage. That was footage of him, like when they
And
showed
like
him.
Roland Emmerich comes up with like a lighter.
I hate you, Roland.
Gojira. Well, to answer Meg's question, you know, I can talk about this for a long time, and maybe I will. But the reimagining thing is totally fine with me. You take something that like works for what it was, and then you take the bones of that and you restructure it, is totally something that can work. Example, Andor, right? Andor is a show, so maybe not a great answer to this question, but works fantastically as a Star Wars show, but is so different than the Star Wars original trilogy, right? Like the de facto definitive Star Wars. Very different, but, you know, a reimagining and a great addition to the story. But I'll give you an even better example. The Mummy. The Mummy is an old movie. It's an old 30s movie with Boris Karloff. It's an iconic horror movie, sure. But one day, well, many times, but we'll go straight to the 90s. One day they remade The Mummy and made it a totally different thing. It was completely reimagined to be something totally unique, and it worked fantastically. It's still loved a lot by people of my generation. It's a great movie. It's a, you know, late 90s adventure movie. But then again, you have The Mummy 2017 with Tom Cruise. Oof. Another reimagining. A shitty movie. You know, the beginning of the dark universe, infamously, right?
Yeah.
But the
end.
The beginning and the end, sir. The reimagining thing you can make anything work if you write it well and if you craft it well. You know, there's a lot that goes into making a good movie, and I think anything can be made to work well. You can take any concept almost and make it work. Ghostbusters, Brett, you know, there's a good example of an original concept that worked really well. Then in 2016, reimagined.
Awful.
Bullshit. So, yeah, I think reimaginings can work. I don't think you have to necessarily like do the exact same thing for it to work. And, you know, The Mummy's a great example. Andor, The Fly. The Fly was reimagined to be something completely different, the 80s version of it. It was this old weird 50s kind of sci-fi, vaguely horror movie that was just really silly. But, you know, when they turned it into like a body horror movie and they gave it a great sci-fi concept, really fucking good.
I said it's kind of like The Thing. The Thing was the same as The Fly. Like, it was an older movie called something else. and then they made it into, I know Mikey, it's like Mikey's favorite movie, so.
Yeah, you don't have to be beholden to the original, I don't think, in any substantial way. But, something that has a huge fan base, I think you have to do some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it has to be there to even maintain the title. The title is very questionable in this movie.
What is the point of even wanting to have the IP other than just the name, I guess?
Yeah.
For money, yeah.
Name recognition, I mean.
Money. Yeah, money.
Money.
Right, Pap? Money.
That's usually the answer.
That was a freaking good answer, Corey.
All right. I think we're probably ready for yes or no's.
All right, let's all answer on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No dog.
No.
Conclusion. Yeah, this is Corey, Kylo Ren memes. Obviously, I'm going to give this movie a no. It is bad. It's really great, though, to all be on the same page about how bad a movie is sometimes. Those are some of the funnest pods. I think Southland Tales might be worse for me. It's also very fucking long, remember that? And it's just batshit. This movie is boring, but it maybe this slight hint of nostalgia would give this movie the edge for me. I do see it and I think about the toys, which is one good aspect, but it's not, within the text of the movie whatsoever. Nothing in this movie really saves it. It's one of the worst Godzilla movies, maybe the worst. I think, anyone out there, if you haven't seen Godzilla -1 at the time of this recording, maybe at the time of this release, it's on Netflix and it's fucking amazing. It's not only the best Godzilla movie to me, but it's one of the best movies I've seen in recent years. It is truly incredible. This movie, man, what can you say, man? It's Roland Emmerich. He just gives you this fucking shit and it sucks every time. And I don't know how he continued to make so many movies. They're so bad. Yeah, I'm just going to say that's it for me. No to the movie that never ends.
Is Godzilla +1 as good as this movie is bad?
Better.
Okay.
Godzilla -1.
+1.
Sorry.
Yeah, that'll be the sequel.
Did you say if that's streaming anywhere? Is that
Netflix.
It's streaming on Netflix.
It's Netflix. By the time this comes out, it'll be in the public domain. It'll be so long. So
No rush, says Meg.
Mikey, yes or no?
Yeah, obviously a no. Just a really boring, not very fun to watch action movie. I think it's what it's going for. And are we committing to the bit that Southland Tales is the worst movie that we agree upon that we've done, or is there something else?
Higher.
All right, I don't. Nah.
The worst Patreon pick.
Los Enchiladas.
Oh, for Patreon?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Patreon for sure. Southland Tales is worse. I think just because. Oh man, that movie is just so chaotic and all over the place. It's just hard to concentrate on. This movie, just incredibly boring, not fun to watch, and Matthew Broderick cannot be the leading man in any sort of movie. He's definitely not that guy to be doing that. Roland Emmerich, terrible director. Don't know many movies of his that I can I guess Independence Day I can watch, but there's not much else of his that I enjoy. Yeah, hard no. Sorry, Meg. Everybody likes the movies that they like, and if this was something from your childhood that was really important to you, it just wasn't that for me. So it's a hard no.
Josh from Goshen. I would have liked to see a 90 or an 87-minute Godzilla comedy come out of this. Just slapstick. When Ferris Bueller is pranking the Godzilla raptors with the gumballs and they're slipping and sliding all over the place. if it could just live in that zone for like 87 minutes, I think that would be a better movie. This movie is just like a mix of everything you don't want to see, and it's so long. It's just so long, guys. Matthew Broderick can't carry this on his back, and the old Godzilla could have carried this on his back because he's so much bigger and stiffer and less sexy legs. I love how the old Godzilla movie just looks like a kind of chunky dude in a suit, and it's always got to look like that in some way. It's got to. Pretty hard no. Josh from Goshen.
Yeah, Meg, you're awesome. You're the best. You've been like one of our first Patreons, and you've always sent us really nice messages. And this was a really great pick for spoilers because it's like a 90s movie that I remember, and it's fun to make fun of and hate. And I think this is by far the worst Patreon pick. Like, I might watch Southland Tales again just because there is this weird contingency of people who say it's good, and like maybe I'm missing something, like maybe I need to watch the director's cut, but there's just no way I ever watch Godzilla 98 again. Yeah, like everyone else has said, comes down to the length. Just a long time to spend in this shitty movie. Bad look at Godzilla and bad comedy. Kind of cool. I think you picked the worst Patreon request of all time. I'm going to hold anything else up to this versus Southland Tales, but thanks again for being a Patreon. We really appreciate it. You've been a Patreon for a long time, so that's super cool. Last but not least, Brett.
I messaged Pappy last night, and I said, I can already tell this movie is going to be way too long. And he's like, dude, that's so funny. I had the same thought at like the 25-minute mark. First of all, he gets to the city with an hour and 45 minutes to go. And I just was like, are we really going to have him barreling through New York City for almost 2 hours? Like, you have to build up to getting to something like that, right? Like, you have to try to stop him first because you don't want him in the city because he's going to be killing a bunch of people. I don't know. Way more problems than that. I think it's super obvious. Like I read a little bit of trivia. Like Emmerich didn't like Godzilla, and I think it shows. Like they could have gotten a director that respected. And I mean, I feel like Quentin Tarantino probably he loves the Japanese old stuff. So, but to get someone who doesn't like it,
he didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it at all. He
like. Do you like Godzilla? No. You're perfect.
Like read the trivia. Like
movie.
they picked him over other people, and he just admitted he didn't like it, and that's why he got rid of everything and started from scratch. That's why everything looks so different, because he was not a fan, and I think it shows. Yeah, Meg. I hope you have fun listening to us. We had a lot of fun tonight, so I hope you don't take it too personally. But yeah, this movie is just so bad. I mean, I hated it so much.
It's the Power Glove.
It is the Power Glove, and I had the Power Glove, and I wanted it to be so cool, and it wasn't. Man, too bad. What do you expect?
It's got me interested in the cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be worse than this. So it's just bad from the creature design to the casting. I hate it. I thought the girl was a terrible actress.
Oh,
and yeah, again, Matthew Broderick, he's not really a leading man type. Unless it's like a comedy movie, I guess. I don't know. Some people like Cable Guy. I did at first, but it's a no. It's a hard no. But I don't think it's worse than Southland Tales. But at least Southland Tales is really unintentionally funny at times. Like the one conversation with Amy Poehler and Wood Harris is 100 times funnier than anything in this movie put together. So that's at least that. But hard no. Thank you for picking it, though. I had a blast talking about it.
Hey, also shout out to Meg's brother, who I assume is named Chris. Family Guy.
Oh, okay. That's
and her dad Peter, and yeah. And her dad Peter and her dog Brian. Yeah, the whole
yeah.
Little squad. Okay, so Meg, we do have a trivia. Guys, I'll leave it up to you. Do you want a closest to?
Never.
Okay. Do you want a little outside the box one? I think it might be kind of fun.
Godzilla D&D.
It's super. It won't be long.
Yeah, Godzilla and D&D.
Okay. It has nothing to do with Godzilla. I'll pitch this game to you real quick. So, do you guys all have your phones?
Yeah.
On you?
It's charging, but I can get it.
If you just message me, you guys are gonna like each vote for a person each round. It's gonna be a secret vote. It's a -1, but if someone gets all 4 votes, they automatically win. And it'll make sense as we go. Or I could do a closest to. Does either one sound fun? Do you have time?
New game.
Okay. Everyone message me a name, like of one of the other hosts, minus me.
So the vote is completely random. It's not on the basis of anything?
Well, it's strategy, because in between each rounds, you guys will talk, and you'll each know your scores, but no one else will know your score. So you want to get the least minus votes. Okay. Corey gets it. Mikey gets it. Brett and Josh.
I got
What do we do? I messaged you.
Message me a name of another host.
I did.
He messaged you on Trello.
AOL Instant Messenger?
No. Chat. Google Chat.
Okay, I'm gonna message each of you your scores. Here.
This is how many times someone says our name?
Yes.
So you could say the name multiple times?
You will each get 1 vote per round.
If someone gets to a negative number predetermined, is it over? Or is it just go until someone gets all 4 votes?
It's just 4 rounds. It's whoever has the lowest score.
You want a low score.
You want to not get
negative.
votes. Yeah,
So you want a higher score.
exactly. So now you guys can talk for a second, and then we'll do another round of voting whenever you're ready. You can vote whenever.
What are we supposed to talk about?
Yeah, what leads to the voting?
Well, that's the strategy. You each know your score. You could claim to know it. You could say you're getting too many votes. If someone gets 4 votes, they win. So it's up to you how you guys handle the situation. It's a podcast, so preferably you try and bluff each other.
So that person would have to vote for themselves?
Yes.
I'm just going to keep... I mean, I already have 3 points, so I don't know why we're even going still.
Yeah, I don't really understand the strategy. It seems very reality TV.
I'm getting stirred up about this. I'm pretty pissed off.
I got Mikey's vote.
I'm
You
ready
guys
to
can
vote
whenever. But
I'm ready to vote
Yeah.
someone off the island.
Do you count, Pat?
No, I'm not voting.
Okay.
I'm keeping score.
No, but you can count.
I voted.
I'm waiting for you in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You ready for the sequel?
No.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
An Adam Sandler movie is going to be bad?
But at least Happy Gilmore was entertaining.
That Bob Barker fight is epic.
Yeah, let's each go. We're halfway done. Each of you say what you want to say your score is. You can lie if you want.
I'm still stuck on 3 points?
Stuck on 3 points. What do you mean by 3 points? You're positive 3?
Yeah.
Damn.
How do you get positive points?
There's no positive points.
-3. I have -3. I have 3 points. Whatever.
I don't
if
think
it's
that's
negative or
possible.
positive.
Brett's been full of shit unless he voted for himself.
Why don't
Brett,
you...
so you're saying your score is -3. Mikey, what are you saying your score is?
I don't even know if the maths what my score is.
I literally texted it to you.
No, but I'm confused on what the game is now.
It's an equation.
I'm just putting down names. Pat will
This
take
is
care of
just
the
a
rest.
trial game. Yeah.
Every time someone votes for you, you get minus a point. Brett said he had minus
We've done
3
two
after
rounds.
the first round. I didn't vote for him, and I got minus a point that first round. So the most he could have had is -2. He's
Yeah,
lying. I
you're
don't know what his
bluffing.
game is.
Lying. Wrong.
Pretty strong argument from Brett.
Yeah.
Mikey, you want to make a comment on what your score is? Brett said -3.
I'm -69.
Okay. Strong answer. Corey, you want to make a comment on your score?
Godzilla -1.
Josh?
+1.
Minus D.
Lies.
Okay.
D's nuts.
It's 1998.
All right. Go ahead. 2 more rounds, so vote whenever. But feel free to. You heard each other's scores. Mikey claims to be in last place with -69. Brett claimed to have -3.
Votes in. My vote's in.
Okay, we're tabulating the results.
I keep waiting for Pappy to like respond back. No, you're not doing it right. But he hasn't, so I guess I'm doing it okay.
You're doing great. It's just we're workshopping a new game.
You text him a name, he texts you a number. What?
I hope there's
You text him a
something
name, he
in
texts you a
between
number.
voting in the real game.
This is just we're working out some kinks. I had an idea. I'm gonna send.
My favorite scene
Yeah,
is
just
when we see the 2 dead babies outside of Madison Square Garden. 2 dead Godzilla babies. That was a good scene.
Not voting for Mikey. Good call.
When Lindsay L requested the movie 300, we played Dungeons and Dragons. But when Meg requests Godzilla, we play. Wait, what is this game called?
Random vote generator.
I don't even have a name. All right, this is the last round. You guys should try and do some jockeying.
So what you sent me is my total score, Pat? Or that's my score for that round?
Yeah.
I have -5.
So if we all collectively vote for someone, let's say Josh, we all agree to vote.
No one's
Josh.
gotten 4 votes. Right.
Is
Then
he the winner or the loser?
He would win.
First
He would
loser?
win. If someone gets 4 votes in a round, they win.
That means they have to vote for themselves.
Right. If they could time it. So there's 1 more round. If there's a tiebreaker, I think I could come up with a tiebreaker, but it's close.
You guys
I'll
want to say
that.
what you guys got?
I I'm -5.
Negative creep.
I got negative Scott.
How much is that?
It's got nothing to do with you all motherfuckers. What do you got, Mikey?
-5 as well.
Yeah, it's tough to
Good.
tough to be -5.
2 -5s. And 2 -5s and negative Scott and Brett. What'd you say you had?
-5. I would say
What did Kylo say?
Kylo hasn't said anything.
Negative confusion.
We're taking votes for the last round. Listen, we're trying something new.
I still have Godzilla 98 playing. It's so awful.
Oh gosh.
The
I
submarine.
I X'd that
scene
out a
they
little
go
bit
into,
ago.
like-
Yeah, I'm on the taxi scene now. It's just going.
You guys are watching it again? Are you kidding me?
I always watch the movie when we're doing the pod.
I just have it still going.
I gave it 2 stars. I'm gonna drop that.
Does not deserve 2 stars.
No, it doesn't.
Mikey, do you have your vote for the last round?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Okay, good. So hey, I don't know what we could call this game. I thought there could potentially be a kind of Godfather-y tie-in. It is a lot of just counting votes, I guess.
Nah. There's so much more substance to it.
Well, while you're adding this up, Pappy, can I read a comment? We haven't read comments in a long
Yeah,
time.
please do. Great idea. Yes.
We have a couple comments on our Leon the Professional YouTube page.
Oh, God.
Our YouTube is probably like our least viewed, listened to platform, but we got a couple.
It's pretty not viewed, but
one person commented and they were talking about like, is the director gross or not? But that's not the one I want to focus on right now. This one is from good old Stephen Weeks 3151. Said of the Leon the Professional episode 499. He said, "Thanks guys for another great episode. I've been binging your old episodes for 6 months now. You guys have been keeping me company while I'm doing some long-haul drives here in Queensland, Australia.
Yeah.
You know, I used to think my favorite episodes were when Brett was uncomfortable. Okay, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
You know,
That was good.
I forgot that he was from Australia. So I was reading through the comment. Here's the end of it. He said, you know, I used to think my favorite episodes were when Brett was uncomfortable talking on a subject or was irritated with everyone.
Most of the time.
But now I know my favorite episodes are when Brett is singing. Hard yes on this episode, Leon the Professional. So nice little shout out to you directly, Brett.
Come with me.
Brett, sing a song.
Come with me. We got it. I don't. Yo, turn me up. In my cries, in my calls, I mean your ears. See my fall.
All right.
I told him to sing and he just raps.
Can you do that Australian accent again?
Please don't.
Me?
First of all, there's
Yeah.
3 different types of accents in Australia, and just assuming that he's one of them is probably not very nice.
Also, I don't even know if that was Australian. I think that was more so my New Zealand accent.
No,
I thought it was
not,
great.
That was not New
I
Zealand.
think I can only do Australian
accent. Anyway.
if I'm directly quoting Mad Max.
Go ahead.
2 days ago, I saw a vehicle that could haul that tanker.
Whoa.
Sounds like Crocodile Dundee.
You like Furiosa, Kylo?
That's
Yeah, it's good, man.
It's really good.
I think we should do an episode on that. Someone asked us on our Instagram.
Yeah, I'm down.
You added up yet, Pat?
Yes, Mikey, I had that you voted for Josh, Corey, Brett, Josh.
Damn.
And what was your final score?
-5.
Brett, I had you voted for Mikey, Corey, Josh, Brett.
What the hell?
In a desperate attempt. What was your final score?
-4.
Corey,
I voted for everybody.
Corey, I had you voted for Mikey, Brett, Josh, aggressive strategy. What was your final score?
-3.
Josh, I had you voted for Mikey, Kylo.
Damn.
He did not want me to win.
Mikey's so popular. I just knew he wouldn't get any votes.
What was your final score?
-3.
There's a tie between Kylo and Josh. How many people in the French Foreign Legion? Kylo.
A couple. I've been watching Beetlejuice clips on YouTube. Couple 100,000.
200,000?
Is that a 200,000 guess?
Yeah, about 200,000.
Josh, the French Foreign Legion.
You know that Beetlejuice guy from Howard Stern?
How did I just give you your answer?
Howard Stern just asks him insane
Yeah, he's
questions.
the best.
He's like, Beetlejuice, have you ever flown a plane? He's like, yeah,
A couple times. Oh, really?
He's like, how do you spell? And he'll like use like an acronym. He'll be like, how do you spell VHS? And he'll be like, Z4.
That's right, Pete. That's right.
I'm going to say technicality, French Foreign Legion doesn't actually exist anymore on paper. 0 people.
Five.
Oh.
5,000.
The French Foreign Legion consists of approximately 9,500 personnel, including officers, non-commissioned officers. So, Josh, you are closer with a guess of 0.
Couple 100,000.
Beetlejuice, you are not a bad guess, but still not
Fuck
closer
Robin.
than 0. Yeah.
Fuck Howard.
Love Pete.
Well,
Josh, go ahead. Take
do
us
I have
out.
a hot take? Something
Yeah.
like that?
Hot take, spoiler man.
We are coming on a spoilers era where we might be very best friend focused. I think we might do a beloved friends episode soon with best friend Drew Rockland in person. That happens. I would love it. He's agreed to it. We'll see. But also, he is a Patreon. And that pick is coming up next after Meg's. And
Should be a Christmas.
do you guys know what that is?
It's a Christmas movie. We're gonna do it.
Can we say it?
We're gonna do it
Pappy?
at Christmas.
Yeah, say it.
Rare Exports. Wild movie for the middle of the summer, but You guys excited?
It'll come out at Christmas time.
It's been on my list for a while. I just was going to do it around Christmas. So, yeah, it'll come around.
Kylo, you got any hot takes on rare exports? Is that in your wheelhouse at all?
No, not at all.
2010?
At all?
They kidnapped Santa Claus.
The full title is Rare Exports: A Christmas Tales. That's my hot take, Pappy. It's going to be a hot July Christmas, half Christmas, something like that. Love to see it.
Christmas in July.
You can throw it to Spoilerman too.
You do it. Please.
What? No, you got it. You got it. You won.
Fine. Actually, I love doing it. Take it away, Spoilerman.
See ya.
Spoiler Man here. Be sure to check out Corey's podcast, Big Dumb Movie. Special thank you to our patrons. Matt Troll,
I've got exclusive footage of other places this thing is attacked.
Best Friend Drew,
Mine.
Brother Brian,
Whoa.
Nephew Quinn,
I think we should be able to take them down.
Nurse Stacy,
Well, your people are getting in the way of my job.
Nick,
Tatopoulos.
Chatty Daddy,
The blood that I collected revealed that the creature is either about to lay eggs or already has.
The Wolf,
You trying to tell us that there's another one of those things out there?
Gale,
What is this, the virgin lizard?
PK,
Then how can it be pregnant?
Spencer,
That's why we have to find the nest as soon as possible.
Barky 420,
How long did you guys go out for anyway?
Swole,
Our worm guy.
Sebastian,
My work here isn't finished.
It is now.
Dr. Lar,
Why don't we talk about it over dinner tonight? Your place.
Stone Cold Austin,
And you're very beautiful. Have I ever told you that before?
Jimmy the Cricket,
This is a very important job to me.
Is that right? Who are you?
Druid King,
What did you see, old man?
The Meg. Please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Yeah,
Hey, Kylo.
Stick out. I'm going to upload and then I got to go too.
The game is a work in progress.
I did it wrong. I thought I wanted more points. That's why I voted for myself.
Now I know how it's played.
You did want more points.
But how did we not lose?
You had
'Cause-
less
Come on, Brittany.
points.
Votes are minus points.
Yeah, you had minus points.
That was Spoilers.